This is one of the most important videos that you are going to see if you use N8N and specifically webhooks. Today we will be talking about how you can secure your webhooks so that you don't waste your money. This is such a serious video. If you use webhooks and you don't know what to do, this is a must watch. Watch from start to finish. And in any case, I have created this PDF document. Actually, Genspark did with the information I provided, and I will give you the link for it to download it completely for free just by plugging in your email. I will send it to you. It will be down below in the description. Click the link, put your email, and I will send it to you automatically. So if you don't secure your webhooks, you are in for a very bad surprise. When you turn this into production, the bots of the web are going to start spamming you. And if you use paid APIs or you don't do some kind of filtering, if you don't have any security on your webhooks, you are going to waste all of your money on bots or on non-authorized usage. So webhooks are actually URLs that you can hit using some kind of HTTP method like get, delete, post, doesn't matter. But this webhook then sends the information over to an agent or whatever task workflow you got. But the most usual case is that there is no authentication by default. So this means that anyone that has your link over here can actually hit and do the request, which is very, very bad. You are going to be spending money on people that you don't want to use your webhook and your product. So what you have to do before you turn to production and you activate your workflow is that you need to find a way to secure this webhook. There are various cases. There is basic auth, there is header auth, auth to secure this workflow. And today I'm just going to go over the pretty basics of what you can do and what you can search after watching this video to accurately secure your webhook according to your needs. So N8N is a workflow automation tool, okay, that allows you to connect various systems, API and services. So this is about AI automation mostly, but automation as well. So this is N8N. If you don't know what N8N is, if you don't have an account and you want to get started, I will leave the link for N8N down below in the description. So why is it important to be secure with a webhook? You want to prevent unauthorized triggers. You don't want anyone that has discovered your URL to trigger your workflows. You want to protect sensitive data, and you also want to be reliable on production. So let's see what we can do. The most basic case is no authentication. This is okay for testing and development. You don't care, okay? But when you have public workflows, you don't want possibly anyone to trigger it, except if that's what you want to do. If you want to have something public for anyone to trigger, that's fine. Maybe you could add like some bot certification like a CAPTCHA on a website or whatever before triggering, but that's something else. So the first thing that you can use for header for authentication is headers. So you can think of this like an API key. So let's see how you can do it. It's pretty simple. You select basic and you create a new credential, and you want to set the user and the password. All right. So by doing that, you can set, for example, aero and password aero123. For someone to actually get access to my workflow, after I save this, they have to put username and password that I have set over here. So this is one of the easiest ways to, authenticate username and password. The other one is the header auth. So I actually saw them in the wrong direction. So I showed you basic, but I actually wanted to show you header auth. So for header auth, you can set here, for example, API key. This is what you would request the user to put in the field. And here is the value. So you can say API key, blah, 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 whatever you want, doesn't matter. So that's how you can save this. Again, name, you can say like key, you can say token, you can say whatever you want. And the value is what really matters here. So you want to set the value like password for the field of token. So when the value of the request matches this, then you can actually allow the user to use the workflow. So again, that's pretty basic. The most complex thing for, N8N is what we call JWT. So that's pretty complex. And I would not advise 99% of people to use this, especially for simple workflows that you just want yourself or your team to use. JWT is whether, when you really want to integrate this in a SaaS product on, on a subscription website or something like that. So the idea here is that there is a passphrase, there is a secret code that anyone that knows it can actually use your workflow. Kudos, all of these seem quite similar. So here is, for example, a very simple example. This is the JWT encoder. So here is the secret. This value, when it's must here, and when people have this, they can use your workflow. Here is a specific user, a dummy user that is an admin. This is his name. This is his ID. And here we can see the algorithm of the JWT, encryption. It matches this algorithm. You can select whatever you want. Just make sure to match it here. And this is the secret. So you can set like a specific secret here and you're done. But the good thing about JWT is that when a user does a request on your Webflow, you actually can get this payload data because they're encrypted and they're, sewn in the JSON web token, which is, let's say, how can I say it? It's unique for each kind of user and combination of user. So that's the power of JWT. You can see exactly who, with what credentials and what permissions did a request on your workflow. But this is more complicated than that, especially if you try to put it into production. And this is outside the scope of today's video. This is really when you work in a huge company, that you have a SaaS product. That's when you want to use JWT because it gives you a lot more observability, a lot of transparency on the requests. But what you need to take away from this video is that when you want to deploy this webhook on production, publicly, or for your team, you need to secure it in one of these ways. What you select here is up to you. Do you want username and password? Fine. You can do that. Do you want a simple API key? You can do that. It's all up to you. But the idea is that you always need secure, especially before setting this to active, where the production URL will go onto the web and all of the bots will be hitting it. If you fail to do that, and if you don't have if you have your card connected automatically draining money when the AI agent eats up all of the tokens, you might lose all of your money. Guys, this is critical to understand. Okay, so what is the difference between test and production URL? Okay, Gemini is going to tell us. The test URL is being used during workflow development and testing. The production is used when the workflow is activated and running in a live environment. All right, so make sure to secure your webhooks. Me specifically, I never use webhooks because I usually run automations for my own tasks. I usually prefer to trigger them manually, and that's just me. You can use webhooks if you want. Maybe there is a specific, use case that you would like a webhook, but guys, please make sure to put the correct security credentials. Otherwise, you might end up with a very, very bad surprise. Okay, so that's the key takeaway. And if you want to learn more about AI, I have a very cheap AI course down below in the description that also teaches you automations with N8N. You can check that out for more. It's super cheap. It's literally like donating to the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.